I sort of noticed this, um, and we were sort of sending emails back and forth to get this set up, right?
Yep.
Uh, I was meaning to talk to you about this anyway, but you seem relatively, at least compared to what I've experienced, you seem relatively willing to kind of put your music in a genre, like you're not, it's not like you're definitely not some commercial so and so, but it seems like you're comfortable, uh, you know, kind of applying your ideas to a genre and exploring genres that way. And I'm the same way, actually. It's like
Mhm.
I don't think there's anything wrong with saying something like swamp rock like you do and then going like, yeah, I'm gonna make a 10 song swamp rock album,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and because I that's music I enjoy, I want to explore that myself. It's
Yeah.
like there's
Absolutely.
not, that really is the mindset. It's not like, oh, I thought of some keywords that sound cool,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like, and so so really, like, taking it from there, have you always been comfortable thinking that way, for one? And how do you approach songwriting,
Yeah. I think like ever since I was in high school when I started writing music, I
Hmm.
always liked to I kind of just naturally would like gravitate towards picking or like having an idea for like I'm really good at like visualizing what the whole project should sound like in my head, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um so I kind of like picture that first of like what am I trying to accomplish? What is this idea supposed to encompass and what's it supposed to sound like? And then I kind of just like start like imagining what that would be and playing guitar at the same time and it kind of just like goes from there, I guess.
All
Because I
right.
think like when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I used to love Scooby Doo, and there was this Scooby Doo that came out in like the 2000s or something. It was like a movie, and there was this band in it called the Hex Girls,
Nice.
and I was like in love with them, and I thought that they were like such a themed band. Like it was like
Right, right,
creepy, like creepy Halloween, like and I was just like, that is so cool that I didn't know you could like do that with a band. I didn't know you could like take a band and make it that hardcore and like one thing and just really drive
right,
down this idea. And
right.
I think I just stuck with that for a long time. Yeah. Yeah. It's just funny, like it's funny how that term swamp rock was kind of like taken over a little bit. Uh
Mm.
because like if you actually Google, like I used to do this when I was like in college, I would like Google like swamp rock, like because I wanted to find other bands. I was like, is this
Right,
happening anywhere else? Like,
right,
and wanted to see like who else was calling themselves swamp rock and like that kind of stuff.
right.
Look up like swamp rock, like original swamp rock, at least in the US, was like it's very different. I mean, it's like
Hmm.
1950s like Louisiana and Georgia,
Sure.
like kind of like borderline rockabilly, but even before rockabilly, like um kind of like the South's version of like 60s poppy or 50s like poppy rock and roll.
Yeah,
It's like it's
yeah,
very just like cut and dry rock and roll, and it's really fun to listen to.
sure.
And there's some like swamp rock gems that pop out that get a little like weird with some of the delays and stuff. So maybe that's like the beginning of all of it.
Something like that.
Yeah, yeah. There's a good amount of stuff. Yeah, for sure. A lot of lore, you know.
Yeah, big time. So speaking of lore, actually, I was wondering how that's going with your new bands. You've got The Fibs and you've got Long Kate, right?
Yeah.
So so you're starting these new outfits, basically,
Hmm.
Um, like, how does that feel, honestly, after having made 10 albums as the Amphibious Man?
Yeah, it was it was crazy leaving Colorado. Like I left the whole band behind basically. Uh
Right.
not like out, just basically out
Of
of
course. Yeah.
needing to move
No.
on and move to a different place, but I yeah, it was wild, it's like it's crazy being in a musical project. I lived with all of them too for the most part, so um
Oh wow.
we were just all making music together for 10 years straight.
Wow.
But yeah, now I definitely had two very solid ideas even before I moved back, that were like spawned by just like my inspiration of Rhode Island, and the lore and just like feeling that I get in my head when I think of Rhode Island. And I
Hmm.
kind of like turned it into two projects, and it's really worked out. Like the Fibs is like, I fell during COVID, especially. I fell in love with folk music and how it just like is the rawest form of music, which I think is in some ways like the punkest thing you can do
Wow.
is just like play music like without, because I love to bury myself in fuzz and delay and loud amps, but
Right.
also like I think it's really cool to like try to
Nice.
same mood that you were talking about, that swampy mood, like try to get people into that headspace with
Right.
almost nothing, like with like
Right.
minimal instruments. And yeah, so that's what we're kind of doing with that. Ari plays the singing saw, so she like is actually bowing like a metal wood
Right.
saw, and it
I'm
sounds
just
like a
gonna mime it in case there's video. It's like,
yeah, yeah.
like, but yeah, I'll go ahead. You guys have a recording of one of your performances. I'll just totally I'll throw it in our little about me section so people
Yeah, yeah, totally.
can hear the fibs.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. We actually last weekend just recorded the whole thing in the basement, our
Great.
whole first little EP. So hopefully that should be out pretty soon.
Looking forward to it, man. How many songs are on there?
I believe it's 6.
All right, right on. That's a good number for an EP.
Yeah,
I'm on board. Yeah.
definitely. I don't know. I do that a lot. It always ends up as being like 5 or 6. That's like my sweet spot, I think. It's a lot of time. And so I was just putting a ton of time into that. But then as I'm finishing up putting my time into that, I'm like, oh my God, I had this hankering to like just play my acoustic guitar. And then the same
Right.
thing when we do the long or when we do the fib stuff, I'm like, oh, I really want to play really heavy. I want to plug my baritone guitar into
Right, right,
like a
right, right, right.
massive amp and just like
Right.
really loud. It's like that kind of thing. But it's just,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I'm just always thinking about like something to do. I just love like kind of exploring playing music and how it inspires me, I guess.
there you go, man. That's totally where it's at. Yeah, in a way it is better to have two bands.
Yeah,
I
it
I
definitely
was
is. I
I
recommend it.
yeah, I was literally thinking about that. I was like, maybe instead of, screwing around trying to have one band, I should have two bands and get serious, like
Yeah, I guess it helps
yeah.
with that like flow of like just constantly switching between each one.
Yeah,
Especially if they're
exactly
like
that. It's
really
like
opposite.
uh so yeah, right on. Oh, so this is technically our St. Patty's Day episode. It's coming out this week. So I just want to say shout out to um a very big band called the Dropkick Murphys for doing virtual events during the pandemic. It was very noticeably helpful. Yeah, to see the Dropkick Murphys
Heck yeah.
performing. Yeah. Did you watch that actually? Because
I
that was
did
like,
not. I didn't.
oh,
No.
you got to check it out. I mean,
I've been very into this Irish band called the Merry Wallopers.
all
Um,
right.
I highly recommend checking them out. I'm actually going to see them tomorrow night in Boston, and it's their first time in the U.S. From Ireland.
That's
Um,
a great shout out, man. Thanks for
yeah,
throwing down.
yeah,
You're gonna see him tomorrow night.
yeah. They're playing tomorrow in Boston at Sonia. It's like part of the
Cool.
Middle East, I guess, or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know how to get there? Because the T train is like it's a whole thing.
I
They have
don't.
their own.
I'm driving. I think we're
All
gonna have to
right,
drive
cool.
there, but yeah, no.
Yeah, yeah. All right, right on. All right, yeah. As long as they have parking, I think you're in.
Yeah, we always figure it out.